Welcome to another edition of Chaplain John with Chaplain John Sayers, featuring special reports and interviews with people doing kingdom ministry in Tulare County and beyond. And now, here's Chaplain John.
It just occurred to me why some of us do YouTube. We have a YouTube channel, or when I was doing a podcast, I had podcasts. And basically, I think we're doing it. It's our journaling. If I look back at a lot of the things I've shared on my YouTube over the years, I'm really journaling, sharing where my life is at, what's going on. I hope and pray that over the years, you folks have listened to my podcast, but really my YouTube channel, I hope even if you're listening, it resonates with you. Because again, I want to be a cheerleader. I want to engage with you. So we can engage with God. We can engage with each other. I like that word, engage. I think some of the best ways I engage with people today is by wave walking. You know, I call this the wave. I'm the wave walker, right? And I may engage with somebody just for a couple of minutes, but they look at me. They may smile. They wave back. They honk their horn for that brief moment. I'm the cheerleader again, where I encourage them to get in the game, to engage with one another, to engage. Well, I think this is going to be one of those YouTubes where I guess I'm doing a journal right now, because I want to share with you something that happened to me on my birthday week last week. I had a birthday week, and boy, did God reveal things to me. It blew me away. It's fantastic. But one of the events that took place on my birthday week, my birthday was May 4th, so May the 4th be with you. But one of the things that took place on my birthday week happened on May 3rd. May 3rd. Big Al Bobeer went home to be with the Lord. I want to get back to Al for a minute. I want to share a little bit more about it. Maybe this is my journaling or reflections on Al. But I was very fortunate to grow up in a church, Hillside Baptist Church, Southern California. And some of you watching this, you're part of that family, right? We were very fortunate to grow up in this church. This is a small church, but this is a church that where there are people that had a passion for working with youth. Now, our youth ministers were not paid by the church. No, they had their own jobs, but their passion was to work with us, the youth. Now, when I was in junior high, two of the people that had a passion that worked with me for 2 years, I think of Ralph and Trudy Harton. Now, a few years ago, Ralph went home to be with the Lord. Trudy's still here. But boy, Trudy, if you're listening to this, I put you in there. You had me for 2 years working with this crazy mixed up kid. And once you got out of junior high, then you were handed over to Dave Patfield and Al Bobeer, Big Al. You know, it's almost like I could see the Hartons going, oh, good, he's out of junior high. He's yours now. We've had him for 2 years. And whoa, that was way too much. No, they love me. I love them. And then when you got out of high school, you know, Dave Patfield and Al Bobeer, and their wives were connected too. But they gave you, the Lewises took over. Mary and Mr. Lewis, and I always called him Mr. Lewis, not Bill, just didn't seem right. But they took care of me, but they had a passion to work with young adults. And man, what a joy it was to have them in our life, in my life. Now, a few years ago, Mr. Lewis went home to be with the Lord, as did Ralph, as did Dave Patfield. They're all with the Lord right now. And boy, what a reunion and what a great time they're having, along with other Hillsiders too, including my sister, Bobby. I think that on May 3rd, that I think of my Hillside Baptist family having a reunion, and it grew one more was added to that ranks, and that was Al Bobeer. I'm very fortunate. I got a church I go to now I really love, a little church. It's River Cross Church. This is my family. I don't think I've ever felt such a tight family except when I was with Hillside Baptist. I got to pastor a lot of great churches, go to a lot of connect with a lot of people. But that family um, that I have now at River Cross is the same type of family I had with Hillside Baptist. Well, they were my youth leaders. And again, our youth ministers, they weren't paid. They have other jobs that we're doing. Well, when I got into high school, again, it was Dave Patfield and Al Bobier that kind of took over us youth. And I got to tell you something really quick about Dave Patfield, who's went home to be with the Lord a few years ago, too. Dave, whenever Dave picked you up and took you someplace, he picked up hitchhikers. And I knew he was going to do this. Whenever he picked up a hitchhiker, I was going, oh, I know what he's going to do. He's going to pick up that hitchhiker and he's going to share about Jesus. In fact, sometimes Dave would go 4, 5, 6, 10 miles all the way, taking him wherever he wanted to go because he was trapped in the car and he got to witness about Jesus. And he did it so naturally. I learned a lot from Dave. I'm feeling I can do that a bit more. Not as good as Dave, but to witness just people you connect with right away. Wow. Well, Big Al, we called him Big Al because he was a big Al. He was big, man, tall guy, great singing voice. But Big Al was, in Sunday school, he was the Sunday school teacher and the youth leader. Big Al had a passion, not only for us youth, but a passion for the Word of God, as did the others too, by the way. And so under Big Al, for 4 years, Sunday school and youth groups, the Word became even more alive, probably in me because it wasn't Big Al. He had a way of doing that, bringing the Word into your life, making that important. What if you have somebody like that? I want to be like that for others too. Well, let me tell you something else about Big Al. There were times I needed to have a one-on-one with Big Al. I might have done this more than once, but I remember times knocking on Big Al's door, maybe at 1 o'clock, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Their family's asleep. I would knock on the door. And his wife, Grace, as his wife's name was Grace, and she was Grace. And she went home to be with the Lord for me, I don't know, maybe 10 or 12 years ago. And boy, Big Al missed Grace. I had this picture on May 3rd when Al was ushered into the big family. And after the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost greeted him, next in line was Grace grabbing Big Al. And oh, what a reunion they had. Fantastic. But I would knock on the door 2 or 3 in the morning. Surprised I didn't wake up the kids. Maybe I did. I don't know. And Grace would come to the door. And Grace never said to me, Johnny, what are you doing here? Don't you know that we're asleep? Don't you know that you could come at a better time? She never said that. She never said that to me. She said, Johnny, go ahead and sit in the living room and have a seat and sit in the living room. And Big Al would come in. I'll wake up Al. And Al would come and he never said to me, Johnny, no, he said, Johnny, I'm going to get some coffee on. And then let's sit down and talk. And there would be Big Al. He'd get his cup of coffee on. And maybe I might have drank coffee then. I don't know. And he'd say, Johnny, what's up? And Big Al knew a lot about my life because I wanted him to know a lot about my life. He also knew a bit about my family, a lot about our family. And Big Al just had a way of listening to me, of letting me know that no matter what I was going through, it's all right. It's almost like Al was going to be with me. But Al had a way of saying, but it's all right because Jesus is with you. It's like, even though I go through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. And it's not Big Al, but Jesus, your rod and your staff comfort me. Big Al had a way of no matter what I was going through, God was there with me. Well, that's some great memories I'm having even today of Big Al. Last week, I guess it might have been on the 4th. I know I heard about it. Actually, I heard about it on the 5th, when I finally got an email. And I was talking with a friend, and I was sharing some memories of how Big Al, very close to me, was with me. And let me tell you something interesting. This person that I was talking to, all of a sudden, she started sharing about a memory of someone that was really close to her. And she got to hold her, be with her when she passed away. And she was telling me how important this person was in her life. And I didn't say, wait a minute, I'm talking about Big Al now. No, I didn't say that. God was saying, John, I'm bringing this moment to you because of Big Al, so you can listen to her. And I know this may sound hard for some of you that know me. I did not interrupt her. And for 15 minutes or so, she's sharing with me a great memory of this person. And we connected even more. God is great. And that all came about because of Big Al. Well, I'm going to still share memories of Big Al. I'm doing it right now. I'm doing it with you because, and I'm going to share that with other people. Maybe not even so much what I say, but I want my life to be a life where if people want to talk to me, I'm going to have time with them. I'm not going to say, well, you could pick a better time. No, such a time as this. Lord, help me be like Big Al and be ready for people that might come my way. And I don't have to preach. I don't have to teach. But I want to give them the message that Big Al gave to me. And I think the message Big Al is giving to you. God is with you. He's got this. No matter how bad or warped out this seems, God has got this. He's the way, the truth, the life. Jesus, open up. Be engaged with Jesus. That's what I want. Just by not so much what I say, but maybe by a wave. Stay connected with Jesus. He's got this. And someday, people, what a grand reunion we're going to have someday. Oh, part of my reunion is going to be with the Hillside Baptist group. Part of my reunion will be with other churches I've been with. The book I wrote, wherever you go, there it is. The church wherever you go, there it is. When I get that book, you can still get it on Amazon. But what a reunion I'm going to have with these people. I'm going to have a reunion with the jail church. I'm going to have a reunion with the first church at Danny's. Couldn't say Denny's. I'm going to have a reunion with the Zumba church. Those of us that dance together. Oh, but I'm going to have a reunion with certain individuals. And one of those individuals I can't wait to have a reunion with is Big Al. God bless.